because you're struggling with who you used to be, but you're struggling with not quite who you are yet. And it's a really, really lonely place, and you feel all alone, and then you get hit with a problem, and it feels like the end of the world. But I've always felt like the brightest lights shine after the darkest moments. And if you can weather that storm, no pun intended, and you can get through the adversity, it's going to be the best you've ever had on the other side of it. And so for you, with a ton of adversity, I mean, you grew up in a struggled household, know all about that. How have you been able to weather so much adversity and get through the other side?
Well, I think everything comes from my childhood. But I told the story the other day, and I really love this story because it actually sums up that question really, really concisely, I believe. I'm at the gym working out in Bonita Springs, Florida. And there's everyone that goes to the gym, there's a bunch of guys. There's the mayor of the gym, there's the guy that does this, right? And there's a bunch of younger kids that come in that recognize me from social media, and I love to pour into these young kids. And so I had not met this kid. His name was Kyle. He came up to me and he said, "Mr. Fay," very humbly, he goes, I love everything that I've seen you do. And he goes, "You know what, like you, I have no one that supports me. No one thinks I'm gonna be anything." And he goes, "I really connect with your story from when you were a kid." He goes, "I gotta ask you, how did you do it without anybody? How did you do it without anybody caring or thinking you could ever do it?" And I looked at him and I said, "I don't know how to tell you this, kid. I actually did have someone that always believed in me." And I looked at him and it was like I punched him in the stomach. All the air just out of him, put his head down. And I said, "Hey, pick your head up." He said, "You know who that person was?" And he shook his head. And I said, "The person that always knew that this Derek that you see was going to be here, the person that picked me up when I was at my lowest, that was me." And he started smiling.